The weather is looking good, sunny. Of course, today is Sunday, so a lot of sun. Yeah, so if you've not washed, you can go back home and go and do your washing and then get ready for Monday.
Right. We're starting with Roland Garros. Coco Gauff won her set.
Yeah, so that's the French Open. You can also say the Roland Garros. It was her second major title, so that's part of the Grand Slam. Her first was the 2023 US Open. And when she won that in 2023, she became the first American to do so since 1999 after Serena Williams. And yesterday too, she broke another record. She became the first American to do it on French soil, again after Serena Williams did so in 2015. And if you look, there are two names running in there, Serena Williams and Coco Gauff. These are blacks, Americans. And Coco Gauff has been tagged, the storylines are that she's the next Serena Williams. And I think she's beginning to live by what people think about her, especially because she's been very consistent in 2023. You know, that the thing with the tennis, the sport, is that, especially with the women's singles, you don't have them consistent like that. If you take Serena Williams, who did so, able to win 23 Grand Slam titles, the recent tennis players that have come, talking about the women's singles, they've not been consistent. When Emma Raducanu won it in 2021, I said it was a fluke, and it's been so because she's not been able to perform again. When Coco Gauff also won it in 2023, I said same, but I think that she's changed the narrative. I think she's one of the players that we should look up to in the next couple of seasons. I think that she'll be able to stay relevant for a long time. She's got everything. If you look at the way she plays, she's very powerful, and I like the way she takes up the sets as and when. She's very aggressive on the touchline, and like I said, if you look at the other people she's been competing with, everybody thought that Naomi Osaka, herself, these were the names that will step up, but you have too many inconsistent performances when it comes to the women's singles. I give you an example. Nobody thought that Barbora Krejcikova, she's unseeded, will go on and win a Grand Slam. Nobody thought that Aryna Sabalenka, at the time she was unseeded, she was from Belarus. Nobody thought that she would go on and win a Grand Slam title. But even with her, she's even now the world #1. So when she faced Coco Gauff yesterday, it was world #1 and world #2. Oh, wow. Gauff being the 2, and then Sabalenka won. And the funny thing is that when Gauff won her first major title, the US Open title, it was against the same opponent in Aryna Sabalenka. So it was the two phases meeting again on the court. But unfortunately for Sabalenka, she's 27 years old. Coco Gauff is 21. So it means that she would be around for a very long time. And that's how Serena started. That's how she began picking up these major Grand Slams. And the thing with this tournament is that the more you perform good, it reflects on your rankings. So if you are exiting in the quarters, you're exiting in the round of 4, then you begin to drop. You begin to find yourself among the quote unquote the intabes or the unseeded here. But I think we should applaud her. I think she's been good. And the last thing I want to talk about is her family.
Coco's family?
Yes, she's got really huge support. So that's Corey Gauff and then Candy Gauff. Corey the father, Candy the mom. They had to actually leave their careers to support her.
The C runs her.
Yes, the C runs her. Even Coco has got her dad's name in her name. Oh, so it's Coco Corey Gauff. Oh, wow. But because she wants to keep it simple, she does it Coco Gauff. Yes, but I think that, look, how many people will do that to drop their careers of theirs and support their kid? And every major tournament, whether it's a major tournament or it's an ATP event, they are there to support. So they are more of like
invested.
Yes, or home coaches for her. I hear her mom does homeschooling for her. Her dad is always with her personal coach to tell her that, look, give my daughter this, train her this way, do this for her, and then that's what she's done for the people of America. So I think it's good. But later today, the men's singles will take place. Carlos Alcaraz taking on Yannick Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz is also following the steps of Rafael Nadal, who, when he was playing, he was tagged as the king of clay. So when it comes to the French Open, he's won, I'm talking about Nadal, he won 14 major titles to add up to the 24 Grand Slam titles he's won. Alcaraz has already won 2 when it comes to the French Open. So he's coming up against another Italian who is very stubborn. And in fact, these two have also been tagged as the next Novak and the next Nadal. So I think tonight will be good.
Right.
Yeah.
The
But who's your favorite though?
I saw.
Between the two men.
Questions.
You know, just a minute.
Okay, to be honest, I haven't really watched them. I was
For the
watching
women's
women. The women, yesterday I pitched Coco to win. So I'm happy with that.
I saw a note of her, writing, positive affirmations.
Who, Coco?
Yeah. She shared it on Twitter.
Yes.
Saying that she was going to win.
Yeah,
and she wrote it about 10 times.
Yeah. She did so after the 2023 US Open. She told her coach and the dad that she'll win the French Open. Yeah. She said so because in 2022, she went to the final and she lost in the final to Jessica Pegula. So it was that Grand Slam that she wanted to break because she's now won the US Open. Right. She's won the Grand Slam. It's left with the Australian and then a Wimbledon. So I think it's a very good feat for her.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we have the 2025 UEFA Nations League.
Yes. For the football lovers, it's Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lamine Yamal. So a 40-year-old veteran coming up against a 19-year-old or 18-year-old kid. I've seen Ronaldo talking about Yamal.
Does he intend to retire anytime?
Ronaldo?
Yes.
The guy is obsessed though.
I mean, I'm sure people he started with have gone on retirement.
Ronaldo is obsessed. Like,
if you divide his age, Lamine is still younger than him.
That's it.
So he can probably give birth to Lamine.
Good. Yamal is coming up against his dad. Yeah, that's literally what is meant tonight.
He's never spoken about retirement or anything.
No, he's never spoken about it. He's never spoken about it.
I think he wants to hit like 1,000 career goals, right? Then
How
he probably
many
call
is
it.
he at?
I think he has about 900 something.
Yeah, so he has like he's 65 more goals to 1,000.
But is he? When I see Ronaldo playing, the only thing I look at is here. He's got this immense mentality, like I cannot give up now. And even when he went to the Saudi Pro League and people were talking about the fact that he's gone to a league meant for retirees and whatever, he still went to the pitch and bowled. Like, this is a player who I think he's taking care of himself very well.
Yeah,
and Ronaldo is one particular person who pays attention to his diet.
I've seen some of his his videos where he's working out and every I don't know why.
I mean, seriously. And he's already running his kid through that. So, yeah, I think it will be a good game. Portugal won the inaugural edition of the UEFA Nations League in 2019. Spain themselves are the defending champions. So, it's 2 teams who have won it before coming together. But Spain are in a very, very good form. Their form is very frightening. And they've got a bunch of young kids who are playing very, very well. Yamal, Oyarzabal, Pedri, these are Marco Correa. These are like good players. They've been on a very good form. And the conversation about the Ballon d'Or has even started as to whether he can win it. He's coming up against Francis Ousmane Dembele. So, look, this kid, Ronaldo has said that he's the next big thing and that we shouldn't put pressure on him. He's talking about the pundits. Put pressure on the young kid. Allow him to play his football, live his dreams, lead Spain to wherever he wants to take to. Look at a 19-year-old leading the attack for the Spanish Giants. Who would have thought? In our part of the world here, we can't say same. If we want to have a 19-year-old leading the Black Stars, it'd be something might not be in it.
All hell will break loose from the 22 million coaches on the pitch side. Who do you pin to win it?
I'm a Roro fan. Roro, do you know Roro?
Ronaldo. Okay, so Spain, Portugal.
Yeah, so Portugal, I want Portugal to win, but I think it will be difficult. I really think it will be difficult. Yeah. Look, that Spanish team, they are relentless.
Right.
They don't stop. Like it's one attack after the other. They don't stop. And
I mean,
it's just a similar thing they do at Barcelona. So I mean, Barca of course is a Spanish team. So you can actually see that style of play in the national team.
Right.
Yeah. So I really think it will be a good game. Yeah.
We have the Ghana Premier League, last round of games, 2024-2025. Why are you laughing? GPL season. Why are you laughing?
The Ghana Premier League. Well, let me talk good about it, because I'm a Ghanaian and I'm a sports journalist. But So it's the last round of matches. We are still yet to know who will win the title. Last week we had a bit of an issue with Nations FC and then Basake Holy Stars when Nations walked off the pitch because they said some alleged poor officiating. The GFA said they were looking into the matter. And I think that one of the reasons why I was laughing is that each and every time when we are getting to the last round of matches, you have this alleged match fixing stuff coming up, poor officiating. But the GFA have not done anything about it. It looks like they don't care. In fact, when the Nations FC Basake Holy Stars incident happened, a large chunk of the people who are supposed to be looking over the Ghana Premier League were in the UK, watching the Black Stars game because that's where their priority lies. That's what they think that has given them some light. But you have to take care of your home. We've not done that. You've left the GPO, go to the UK. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm talking about the fact that every season we have these match fixing issues coming up. We have owners talking about the fact that they are not going to continue participating in the Ghana Premier League. All these things are like stories that when they see, I think that they just laugh at it and say, oh, there's nothing to be done. And they don't fix it. And for me, I always tell people that for me as a journalist, I'm even sick and tired of talking about these whole things because what we are supposed to be talking about is promoting players, promoting teams. Look at the English Premier League. Who would have thought that Inter Milan will go on and lose to PSG? But in the GPO, I can tell you on authority that the people at the GFA actually know which team will get promoted to the top flight, which team will win what. Because the people at the GFA are ESCO members. They've got ties with the clubs who are playing the league.
Okay.
And so it's more of like, I'm doing Eno a favor, I'm doing Jude a favor. If Jude owns Kotoko and he's coming up against Basake Holy Stars, because I'm his friend and I'm going on relegation, I have to, some way, somehow, do some shenanigans on the pitch. So, look, we'll still be keeping tabs on the games that will be coming up today because we are still yet to know who would win what. I think the teams going back to the Division 1, we know that. But who has won the title, I think we don't know that there. So we'll be keeping tabs and we'll see what will come out from that.
Are there any breakout stars that you've seen?
This season?
Yeah, this season.
Well, for the GPO, yes. A couple of players. I think Kwame Poku came back from Algeria and then came back to Kotoko. I think his performances actually earned him the call-up into the Black Stars. I mean, people have spoken about the fact that you leave the GPO, you come back and you can't ball it. And so it's not really competitive. But I think you would want to give credit to him for what he's done for Kotoko to add to the goal tallies the goals they've scored this season. But I think apart from that, a few other players to Mamadou Kamaradini of Midyama Sporting Club, I think he's been also decent for Midyama Sporting Club. That's why he ended the call-up into the Black Stars. But it wasn't a good outing for him in the Black Stars, but I think it's been good. We'll still look at the last round of games and see what will happen from that.
Right. So we have a summer transfer window.
Oh yes, it's actually been a busy few days. Yeah, because Chelsea are in the conversation.
Who is this City guy?
Who is it? Tijani Reinders?
Yeah,
is
yeah.
That the picture
Tijani Reinders has
yes,
joined
from AC Milan. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yes. So that's him, Tijani Reinders.
He's joined City.
Yes.
Loan or permanent?
Permanent.
Hey, Charlie, when does this deal happen? Because
it happened, I think, on Wednesday, Thursday. It happened real quick.
There was no drama.
No, there was no drama. I mean, the player wanted to join. I mean, if City are going in for a player, I don't think the club has to speak much. Because in terms of pedigree, they've got it.
Yeah, and they have the money too.
They have the money. Like, you're talking about Sheikh Mansour, one of the richest Saudi billionaires. So when they come knocking, you look at two things. The club is giving you Champions League football. The club has been consistent in the last, 8 years under Pep. What is there again? What should I tell you again to get you convinced to come and play for me? So I'm not too surprised. What I've seen about him is that apparently he's been brought in to fill in the shoes of Kevin De Bruyne.
I really don't think he's the guy.
Yes, I also don't agree to that because he's a different player.
He's not. He's not the response to Kevin De Bruyne.
To break the defense with his passes, but he hasn't got that ability that De Bruyne has got.
You know, his name Tijani was because he was named after a Nigerian. His parents fell in love with an Ajax player.
Yes, and then the name
who was called Tinjani.
Yes.
And they just named him
after him.
So no roots whatsoever to Nigeria.
Yeah, so his has got 2 J's.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 J's in there instead of 1. Yeah.
Charlie, football, yeah.
But I think it's a good signing. It's a really, really good sign. He was nominated as, was it a Syria best midfielder?
Yeah, he was. I think he was in the team of the season.
Team of the season. So I think it's a really good signing for Manchester City. He brings a lot. He brings a lot. But I don't think that he's the person to come and fill in that empty space De Bruyne has left in that team. He's a box crusher, a box-to-box midfielder. Takes the ball. He's got immense energy. Very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Can run to the D. So the D is just around the penalty box. Like, he brings a lot. But if you say you've brought in him to come and replace De Bruyne, I don't think so. I think we should. That's a proper deal, more of like a party sort of player that they've brought in. But I think that you fell well. Again, he's come to work under one of the best managers in Pep. And Pep is a very intelligent manager. So when you look at the signings he's done, maybe some exceptions to Calvin Phillips and some other players who actually struggled. But if you look at the signings Pep normally does, they are normally players who are very, very intelligent. You can't be in that Man City team and be dumb. Like, you need to be intelligent. So I think it's a very good signing for City.
You were talking about Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea have been busy.
The lap, right?
Yes, the lap. They've been busy.
Do you think they're focusing on quantity over quality?
Where from this?
And I told you that.
Or from this attack, this like stray bullet.
A question.
The lap is quality.
The lap is quality. I think what the Chelsea high-ups are looking to do is that actually they see him as, according to them, they see him as the next Harry Kane. And they don't want him to hit that top form. Then I go and pay £130 million for him.
Yeah, so buy him now.
Buy him now, get him settled in the team, let him grow with the current young squad he's come to play with, and then they all blossom together. So I think it's a good buy. 11 goals for Ipswich. Unfortunately, his team did not stay up in the Premier League. But if you look at what he brings as to something different from what Jackson has got, I think Delap has got power. He's a very good dribbler, good hold-up play. Comes in with a bit of Premier League experience, would complement what Jackson can do. And with him, I think it gives Maresca another option, which is you can actually go with him and Jackson up front, because Jackson normally likes to drift to the left or the right, and then you have Delap playing up front. So it's a good signing. As to whether he would perform, I cannot say, because he's come.
If you scored yesterday on the show, for example, you made an analysis today that he scored 12 goals for Ipswich in the league, right, with players who we're not really sure of, right? So if you have a Cole Palmer behind you,
of course, the quality.
If you have a Caicedo, you definitely do higher numbers. But I was also hearing Kudus yesterday. Also Bernard, and he told me that there's news around Kudus coming to Chelsea. Is it gaining momentum, or I should be serious?
Well, so the story is that West Ham offered Kudus to Chelsea.
Offered?
Yes, offered. Good. Chelsea are yet to respond as to whether they like him or they don't. But they see him as a good player. Now, I think when I was just coming,
fit in this Chelsea team?
Good. When I was coming, I was watching the latest news from Sky Sports, and that Maresca is looking at, because he sees him as maybe a replacement for Cole Palmer. You don't want to bring him in. When you bring him in, it means that he's come to compete with Pedro Neto, because Kudus can play up front. So he can play as maybe your false nine. He can play on the left. He can play through the channels. He can play on the right. But where do you think you can deploy him best to get the best out of him? If you look at what he's done at West Ham, I think a large chunk of his goals have come right through the middle. Because Kudus is very strong, likes to take on opponents, very comfortable, very brave. But the thing about him is that the final decision sometimes is what is lacking. If you want to look at him and Cole Palmer, I think Cole Palmer has got that better. Even Pedro Neto has got that better than Kudus. So Chelsea are actually yet to respond and say, okay, we like the Ghanaian, let's sign him, let's bring him on. Up until now, they've not said anything yet, but they view him as one of the good players. He had a very good season in his debut season. Unfortunately, for the just ended season, he didn't really perform well, but I think he's one of the good players. For me, if you ask me, on the part of West Ham too, they actually looking to offload some players because they need some money to get to reassemble the squad again. So I think West Ham will look at him and say, okay, we can let him go. But Chelsea is yet to respond to that request from the offer from West Ham United.
Interesting. I saw Liverpool also doing some work within the space, right? So, for example, they already secured Jeremy. I see they are also in for this guy. Is he really the guy? You know, does he solve the slot answer? And I'm referring to Florian Wirtz.
What, £130 million?
Yeah.
Bayer Leverkusen are asking for. In fact, I hear it could even go up to 150.
Is it worth that amount?
Is he worth? I think it's a bit higher. I think 100 would have been okay for me.
They don't finish the Coutinho money, so money.
That's the thing with Liverpool. They didn't sign anybody.
Yeah.
Prior to the season.
He used club's team basically.
The money is still breathing. It's there. Like it's the cash day.
Endo was like what, 5 million.
What?
Endo,
yes, Endo was like 5.
I give him 2 safe.
Chiesa, not too much, and then the goalkeeper they signed. So they didn't really spend much. So I think they can afford to splash more cash on.
But is it worth it? If you have Salah, you know.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying. It's too much for me if you ask me.
But he's a good player.
He's a good player. In fact, I don't think he's come to take up Salah's position. I think Luis Diaz's future is also up in the air. So he'll probably come into. That's if Diaz leaves.
I think he comes in as a false 9 set, like the Firmino role.
Yes, but if you look at under Leverkusen, when he had the season where he won the title, the German title with Xabi Alonso, he played more as a 10. So just behind the striker. Yes, I think if he comes, I think that's where Slot will deploy him. But I think the price is too much. And I think he's a very good player.
Yeah,
he's a very good player. Now, like I said, I've always said this, that now Slot gets to sign his players. At the end of 2025-2026 season, we can now judge him better because he came in and virtually used the signings from Jurgen Klopp, the same team, didn't do much addition. So let's see. But I think he's a good buy. But I think the price is too high for me.
Briefly talk to us about, so the 6 big teams in England. What do each of these teams need?
So the players that they have to sign. Let me start off with Chelsea. I think Chelsea need a good goalkeeper. They need an experienced centre back. They've brought in a striker. They are looking to replace or to bring in somebody on that right side for Jadon Sancho because they didn't activate the bar clause in Jadon. So I think Chelsea would need 2 more signings. I've seen Jamie Bino Gittins from Borussia Dortmund, who is coming in to replace Sancho. That's a decent buy. Of course, Maris